Okay, hope everybody had a good 4th of July, and just getting to this one was sent in to me. This is a KPO DX5000 Plus. I'm not sure if I sold this one originally. The reason I say that is because there was one other guy in the US that was selling these. I think he was buying them from a dealer in Europe. Let me get this to focus on that serial number. There you go. He was buying them from a dealer in Europe and then reselling them in America. And I was buying them directly from KBC, import export. That's KPO. So the radios I always sold were directly from them. I'm gonna ask them in regards to this one because they'll know based on that serial number if that one ever came to me or if they sold that to another dealer in Europe or something. But anyhow, the customer that got a hold of this, he's in Michigan, and he got this for a steal at a ham swap, I guess. I'm not sure if it was Dayton or which one. He told me. I don't quite remember. I think maybe it's in his note. But I mean, he got an outstanding deal on this radio, and he got the KPO mic too. I don't need to look at the mic, but I think you sent the mic with it too. So I'm just checking out the radio, and so far it looks pretty close to how I would set it up. Okay, so this one, it's coming in at about a half a watt, which it's okay. I mean, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna check the audio. So I think the audio might be just a tad bit too hot on it, but well, it might be actually okay. Yeah, it's right on the cusp, but it's pretty good. So I'm gonna leave it how it is. So your high power is about 8 watts, which makes me think maybe, I think you said that you tried to set this one up yourself. So I don't know who initially did what to it, but it wasn't looking too bad on the low modulation side. So there's the high modulation side. And a little bit of distortion on the high modulation side, but I mean, it's not terrible. When you see that brightness, that's distortion. It's not the kind of distortion that makes you sound bad. It's just signal distortion. There's a difference. Distorted sounding modulation, distortion in your modulation sounds horrible. This isn't that kind of distortion. So hopefully people don't confuse. You hear these words and people, you know, they sometimes don't understand why, you know, we might say certain things, but you can bring more distortion like that. And then you can lower the distortion basically out by doing that. So that's probably the better way to run it. A little less distortion. Still a really nice clean waveform there. So there's that. That's pretty good. Now this is an older model, so it doesn't have the dimmer. The FM deviation only goes up to about 3.2, so I set it for about 3.1. It was at 2.8 before. We'll look at the sideband on this one, since this is an older one. I think this was 2022 one, so that's what the serial number said on the back. So we'll take a look at the sideband on this just to see kind of where it's at. So it's been a while since I saw an older one. I probably have an older one like this I kept for myself. I kept a lot of these, so I really like these radios. So it's just one of those things, I guess. So we'll come over here and take a quick peek at this. I remember when I first got these radios, when they first come out, I was selling like 5 or 6 a day. I sold out like within like less than 4 days of the initial order. People were going crazy. Because this was like the first one that had all the new technology. And so the TOI on this is about 24, which is pretty damn good. Let's see if we can't. I go that way too much and it starts to look bad, so. Just trying to see how to make this look the best. That's about where it came in right there. It doesn't look that good, but these ones really weren't too bad either on sideband. I think that's why I liked them so much. So we're going to take it down to about there. That's a little cleaner. And there's about 26 now, which that's really, really good. So I'm pretty sure that I sold this one to somebody, maybe even in Michigan, since you got it in that ham swap, because it has all the stuff. Let's see if I have the. Yeah, it has the 12 meter. I didn't put the UKFM in back then, so looks like they didn't really change anything too much. So I just kind of refreshed it for you. It's interesting how cheap they let it go. But sometimes, you know, when guys get like a fancy ICOM or Yaesu or something like that, and they really go that direction, they don't care about other, you know, like radios like this, like gear like this. They're willing to sacrifice it because they spend a lot of money on some expensive model. And I mean, I get that part too. I spend stupid amounts of money into this radio hobby that I never really even talk about because it's not really important. But don't get me wrong, I mean, you know, I sell stuff obviously, but I probably spend more than I sell. So whatever usually I make and stuff, I usually put right back into the hobby, whether it's, you know, to another company, one way, shape, or form. So it's crazy, but there's always something that I want. Like I just picked up this meter. I've always wanted one of these. This is the 4431. It has the automatic sampler from Bird in it. So now I'm sampling it in 3 different ways. I'm sampling it to the oscilloscope, I'm sampling it to the spectrum analyzer, and I'm sampling it to the frequency counter. So I got 3 different samples. This meter will never move when I'm sampling it to the spectrum analyzer. So if I want to register power, I have to put a regular element in here, and then it's only going to read an average. It will not read peak on this one because there's no peak circuit in it. So I'm going to try to run the file into this. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. So because this is an older model and the software may only be compatible with the newer model. Yeah, looks like it's taking the file, so should be good there. Yeah, I think you got a really good deal on a nice working radio here. So you know, they did a few updates and stuff in a couple of years since this one was produced, but all in all, it's still basically the same radio. So, you know, I don't think that you're really missing out on too much. This will be your UKFM. Now, what you'll need to do is go in and, like, I'll do one couple for you, but you need to manually change all these to the 5. It'll stay like that after you do that, but and I'll do like the first 5 for you, and then you can see. So if we go back to this band, And again, it doesn't matter where this ends up. This doesn't have to mean that it's at 12 o'clock. This is a clarifier and a VFO. Right now it's more like a little VFO. So if we go to SSB and we go up to the popular 3.8, now you have, based on where you press this. So right now, if we kind of let that do its thing, then we can go down 1K at a time if we want to. I think it's an R and T together right now. So the radio always stays on frequency. So basically, you know, if you don't want that though, there's menu options to switch back out of that. So you can go receive only. You can go transmit and shift your transmit and leave your receive where it should be. You can do various things. So you just have to kind of reference the book for some of that stuff, because it's a little, it can be confusing if you've never used this kind of radio before. But, you know, these and many others like this have been out for a long time. So let's just jump back into the meter here. Your mic gain can stay up at 12 o'clock. This is Mike's radio too. I don't know if I said that, but he sent this one in to me. Hello, radio. This is with the RF power all the way down on sideband. One thing that you did, Mike, and I almost didn't get the radio because luckily I was home, but you sent it with the signature, and that's fine if, you know, if somebody wants to do that. But if I'm not here, you know, most cases, my wife, she's not gonna answer the door. So what ends up happening is, unfortunately, you know, because she doesn't like to fight the dogs off with the UPS guy and stuff and all that. So a lot of times I'll tell guys, you know, when they send something in, don't send it with signature. Here's the high power on sideband, 1 2 1 2, check check check, hello. So it's a little cleaner probably than what it was when it came in. Not a huge difference, but you know, still up there in the 40 plus range is what this radio does. Every once in a while you might see 50 out of it, but you know, for better or worse, it's a good 40 plus watt radio. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, with the signature stuff, I personally don't care if people send it like that, but the problem is if I'm not here or I'm sleeping, it's a fiasco, because then he won't leave it, the driver won't leave it, and then I gotta try to get the info notice and sign it, and sometimes they won't redeliver it, and then I have to go physically pick it up. So it can take many days before, you know, I get the radio at that point. So that's all I'm saying, is sometimes it's a little more beneficial just to let them deliver it. Here's the AM with the 8 watt carrier, 1 2 3 4 5, check check, 1 2 1 2. So about 40 plus. We're on channel 38 for some reason. That's why it's not registering. Again, here's the AM on this radio, so it has pretty good aggressive modulation. That's why people really like these. That's why I like them. 1 2 3 1 2 3, check check, hello. So it's doing good, and all the way down. This is all the way down, 1 2 1 2. Still has pretty good aggressive modulation all the way down. Remember, this was a half a watt dead key. So about 0.5 watts, and see where we're swinging up to. 1 2 1 2 1 2, check check check. So doing pretty good. We'll go to RMS. The RMS on this is going to be anywhere from 1 to 2 watts, as you can see there. So that's a pretty good ratio right there. When you're seeing almost 4 times the carrier on RMS, you know you got some pretty good audio. And not always, but at least even double to triple the carrier is pretty darn good. So let's turn this back up. There's our 8 watts right there. 1 2 3 1 2 3, check check, hello. And there's about double the carrier there. 1 2 1 2 1 2. So I'm gonna go grab your KPO mic, and I'm just gonna make sure that that's set up properly to run with this radio. I'm assuming it probably is, but it could be the DX mic too, because I used to sell the actual DX model that I didn't have to do anything to. That one was set up properly. You know, the plug was disabled. So I'll go get that and we'll take a look. Yeah, Mike, so yeah, you got a good deal here. This is a part 2, because I stopped the recording by accident. So, well, I mean, if you paid $15 for this used, that's a really good price. And just as I thought, this was the DX model, so I'll just check it to make sure, but I'm pretty confident that it's already set up to run properly with this radio. That was part of the reason why they did the DX model. I like the P4, that's the standard 4-pin Cobra, because that's still kind of a popular mic wiring setup here. But the DX mics work perfect on all the 10-meter radios anyways, so you don't really need that ground wire for the RX on any 10-meter radio, so like you would on your CBs and stuff. So anyhow, we'll check the mic out really quick for you. Really seems like this radio was barely ever used. Still has the old battery in it. I used to use the Sam's Club batteries, but I've started using Energizer Industrial. It has the long screw, so I'm going to toss that out and put the short screw in it. Yep, so it's definitely the DX mic. I got it plugged in and there's no RX, so we're good. And got TX. Check, check, 1, 2, check, check. Yep, working good. Sometimes every once in a while with most mics you'll get a little pop, sometimes on the PTT. Sometimes just a little dab of 3-in-1 does a lot of wonders for that. This one isn't doing that, but I have seen them in the past, you know, these older ones and stuff, if they're used a lot. And that's just most mics in general that have a PTT line. Sometimes they get a little crackly and stuff, so it's a good sounding mic, so you might want to use it with this radio or something else that you have, but this is the preferred mic for these radios, I think. Everybody that runs these radios with these mics always says, you know, they get a lot of compliments on the modulation and stuff, so. Hello radio, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, check check. Hello, there's RMS again, 1 2 1 2, hello. And here's peak. It's not going to change your power or anything like that, but hello radio, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, check check check. Hello radio, 1 2. So nice and punchy audio, a nice clean output on this thing. If we can get this to focus where we want it to focus anyway. So yep, there you go. Alright, so yeah, I would definitely recommend running this mic with it, and usually if you keep it somewhere around that V, the little slash in the middle, you'll be good. And you can keep the mic gain all the way up, that's no problem. Noise reduction on this. It works, so. Okay, Mike, well, it's working good, so I'm gonna take care of that payment method that you sent, and as soon as that goes through, then I'll use your label that you sent back or sent in with it, and I'll get this heading back to you. So I think you got a good bargain, and yeah, it's a shame sometimes that people don't value stuff later. I mean, these are still really good radios, so. But again, it's probably one of those situations where the guy decided, okay, I'm gonna spend big bucks on a fancy HF model or something, and just wanted to unload everything else that he has or something. So, but these are definitely worth keeping, that's for sure. 73.